Right before I start my period, I'm insane, but I'm a witch. And I want everybody else to know that if you are a bleeding specimen on this planet, that your luteal phase right before your period is the time where you actually are the most sensitive, right? We know that PMS, we start freaking the fuck out. And that's a great thing because even though it may be exaggerated or exacerbated, I never know when to use both of those words, that you are actually feeling the sensitivity of what you've been feeling the entire month. And I know this about myself now, and I know this about women in general. When we are in this stage, it's a compilation of everything that's happened and it starts to get to us. All of that, like, oh, it's all good, whatever, just disappears and we don't have capacity for anything that doesn't serve anymore. It is literally preparing us for the release, right? So what in your life is coming up for you at this time that is feeling, it's getting under your skin? What is making you angry? What is making you emotional? What is making you feel an exaggerated feeling? Because whatever it is true, it's just played all the way out, which is so important. Because imagine that we didn't have these feelings. We would never let the things that needed to go. We wouldn't even be aware. And what's important is that we start to address those things so that we can find greater alignment and be in our whole wonderful, juicy, luscious self. So each phase of your cycle has a message. And if you're not already familiar with it, cycle syncing has truly changed my life. But the luteal one is the one that I pay attention to the most. It's the last week of your cycle. It's the time. It's more than a week. Sometimes it's like 10 days. And it's when you're really just starting to get rid of the shit. Maybe you'll snap a little more. Maybe you'll cry a little more. Maybe you're a little more tired. You just don't have the space for the shit. So it's different every single month for me, but if there's a theme, then I really start to notice, okay, this keeps coming up in my luteal phase, which means it's really important and I'm not addressing it during most of my life. So right now what's coming up is a feeling of overwhelm and this like protective feeling of myself where I just feel kind of burnt out. What's fucking new? But really it's extreme right now. And I know that's because there's big changes happening. My partner just got a job that requires him to go overseas a lot. I'm going to be traveling overseas a lot. I'm going to be going to California soon. There's a lot of different things going on traveling. So feeling a little unsettled, ungrounded. I also feel like I've just been having this vulnerability hangover, which I keep saying, and I said in a video the other day here that I'm coming on here and I'm sharing all these things every day. I'm being seen every day. I feel like I'm really just being seen, and it's bringing up some self-criticism. It's bringing up some fear in a lot of different areas for me. And I'm trying to figure out now if it's just get comfortable in the uncomfortable, or if it's, hey, actually pull back a little because it's overloading you. And I'm used to overloading, so it's not something I'm unfamiliar with. I've been like the kind of person that's just like, send it my whole life, or like more, like go big, go home. So I'm trying to figure out if it's just, yes, it's okay, it's uncomfortable, just keep going, keep being vulnerable, keep just showing up, and also be discerning about what wants to be shared and what doesn't. I don't know, I'm not entirely sure the balance for me right now, but I do know that there's a lot coming up. I feel like my hands are in a lot of different projects and baskets, and I've been trimming down in my social circles so that I can refine. But even with that, I still feel that the people I love so much, it's still hard to say no to. And I still want to take every call. I still want to be at every event. So even though thank God, I literally couldn't have survived without trimming the fat a little bit in my life, but it's still a matter of, okay, it's now quality over quantity, but now can we find the quality over quantity within the quality? So refining, and also letting that just be moment by moment as well, but really getting good at saying no and being seen. Because to me, I think owning my power is also just being seen. And I love to hide behind a lot of different things. I love to hide behind my busyness. I love to hide behind other people. I love to hide behind like everything. I don't know. I just love it. I love it. I love to redirect attention on everyone else. And so here, holding space, sharing feels like uncomfy. And especially when I'm pairing that with in-person interactions where I'm learning to take up space and slow down too. Okay, we got this siren going on, but it's all good in the hood. I mean, hopefully maybe it's literally not good in the hood at all, but prayers. So those are my thoughts. I don't really have too many more, but I do want to bring reflection to cycle syncing has been so incredible for me. It did help me with my stress management because as somebody who puts a lot of pressure on myself, I have realized that different parts of my cycle require different energy from me, and that literally different workouts, different foods, more rest, more solitary time, and all of those different things have given me so much grace, given me to myself so much grace. And so I really recommend that to somebody who's pushing a lot in their lives to learn what their body is actually trying to tell them and optimize. It's literally just optimization, because what's incredible is we can work even more, like put out even more during the times we're meant to, and then we recharge more during the times that we're not. And I've fallen off a little on that rest, but I have done pretty good with my workouts, and I ended up finding a lot of balance in my body ever since I did that, in terms of just my weight and my strength. And yeah, before it was just always going, and that's really changed, and that's been great. So what I'm saying is, if you're being a PMSy little brat, don't be just beating yourself up about that. And don't just also be frivolously being a brat. Like, be a brat with intention. Start to look at what it is in your life that's coming up, and why is it coming up? Why is it so frustrating? Why is it under your skin? Why are you crying so much about it? What is happening? And then let that be wisdom to take into the next cycle, and even enact immediately, effective immediately, to start to make shifts. Start to make those shifts, because your body wisdom is telling you now, when it is the most raw and the readiest to release, it's time to let some of these things go. Reorient, be more gentle, set more boundaries, whatever it may be. Listen to your body. Huge lesson. One of the things I used to never do, I overrode everything. I was so disconnected. And now it's my number one rule of thumb. I really try to listen to my body. And as a celebration today, I came home, I did a lot of work. I wanted to rest so bad. And then I was like, oh, I gotta finish these things before I rest. And then I thought, oh, this is your belief system that you have to earn your rest. Can you just rest now? And then I took a long nap, and then I made this video, because it just felt like that was the most authentic, important, nourishing thing to do. Also, it is the way that I can show up here the best. So just out here doing my best, fellas. That's all I can do. I hope that you have the most beautiful day. Thank you for being here. Subscribe if this is something that you're dealing with. You're trying to ground out your wonderful chaos that makes you you. I am too. That's a lot of my journey. Also, coming back home to yourself after maybe years of losing yourself in others or overriding your needs. This is the journey I'm on, always sharing what's working for me. And if that helps you, come along. Okay, bye.